Hello guys, Scott with Heritage Farms. Hey, here we are. It's middle of the week, it's the afternoon after work, and we have something exciting we're getting ready to work on for this coming weekend. So what is it? Well, look over here. Yeah, so we have a little package over here we're gonna go unwrap here and take a look at. So, we have a small pecan orchard. We have 8 acres of trees. 150 pecan trees on 8 acres, 40-foot centers. We have a dedicated irrigation well. So we are what we would classify as a small hobby farm, small pecan orchard. And as a result of that, there's challenges. So our young orchard is reaching a point where we're actually starting to generate a fair amount of pecans. And that creates problems because you have to either hire somebody or contract to come in and harvest the pecans, which means a shaker, a harvester, a cleaner, and normally those guys want 50-60% of your yield for their fees. Well, as a small orchard, I mean, that's a good portion of your deal. And then you still have to get the nuts processed and cleaned and cracked and shelled once you get them to that point. So there's got to be a better solution. So there's a company called Pecan out of Florida, which is just a great organization. We actually bought a couple of products from them, developed a relationship, started having some conversations over the last couple of years. And I'm just so honored and so delighted that these guys reached out. We formed a little collaboration here, and I'm going to give them a review of some of their new equipment. So I am just honored to have that responsibility. And I think these guys have a great solution for some of the small orchards. And when I say small, that could be 2-3 trees in your front yard to 300 trees. Where is the tipping point that you need to go out and buy your own commercial equipment? And that commercial equipment is not cheap, and it's only getting more and more expensive every single year. So anyway, I'm going to set this down. I'm going to start to unbox this package back here. First impressions, man, this package showed up. They shipped it via freight. I think this is what they called their bundle number 2. And this is their new 42-inch Pro harvester and also their new sorting table. And I tell you what, 2 amazing products. But one thing about it, in working with these guys, I told them I was going to give an honest review. They're not paying me for this review, so I'm going to tell you what I think about this stuff. But first impressions, packaging is great. They shipped it all the way from Florida, made it all the way to Texas, LTL freight. So this stuff was probably cross-docked 6 or 7 times, and the package showed up in good shape. So let's dig into this. Let's find out what we got, and then we'll regroup once we get all the packaging material off. All right, guys, I got my helper. This is Kimber Cat. Kimber, say hi. She's my assistant for today's operations. All right, so we got everything off the pallet, and I just want to say again, the pallet was very well built. It was very sturdy. They did not cut any corners, and it showed because the 2 units, the 42-inch Harvester Pro and the sorting table, made it all the way to Texas with not a scratch on it. So kudos to the Pecan guys for their packaging, top notch. So let's just take a second and digest what they sent me. So we got the 42-inch Harvester Pro. We're gonna get into that because I see a lot of things that Daddy likes already. Oh, let's see. They sent me 4 collapsible crates, and you can buy more, but I like these. These are they're lightweight. They're easy to use. You can rinse them off with the water hose when they get dirty. They fold down. So I see a lot of things already that I like. The other problem is we were using 50, I don't know what you call them, mineral tubs And we'd fill them full of pecans, and it was too much weight. You couldn't get it in and out of the side-by-side. You couldn't get it in and out of the truck. So really, 30 pounds is about all you really want to carry. In full disclosure, I'm over the age of 50, so 50 pounds is heavy. 30 pounds I like. Not sure what's in this box. We haven't got that far yet. They gave me some bulk bags. Kimber approves. Then they sent the sorting table. A couple of things on the sorting table. They have the legs installed. This sorting table comes with two options. You can put this bar right here is a receiver hitch if you want to put it on your side-by-side or your pickup truck, receiver, whatever. Here is the actual table itself. And first off, everything is well built. I mean, I really like the look of the sorting table. The powder coat finish that's on this, everything looks good. Once again, there's not a scratch anywhere to be seen. So this is the actual sorting table itself. So you can see how the nuts, once you go through the cleaning process of picking out the sticks, the bad nuts, you tilt this thing up, all the nuts fall into here. Gravity, it's deeper on this end than that end. You come over here, here's your little opening. Gravity will put them into either a 5-gallon bucket. You could put a bag on here, but I like this. I like it a lot. So you can see my little pecan shell in operation over here. We've got our cracker, we got our sheller. Here's a little workbench. I can see a situation where we just slide this guy right out here in the opening. We sort on the driveway to keep all the debris out there. I'm pretty impressed with that. But all right, let's talk about the harvester, because I see some things I like immediately. So I have a 30-inch Pro, and when I get to the farm or the orchard, I'm gonna do a little comparison of some of the stuff we have. And you know, I've got the little handheld stab-a-nut thing that picks up. I've got a 30-inch pull behind, and we'll get into some of the limitations of that 30-inch pull behind. But this is looking pretty good. The first thing that jumps out at me, it's continuous. If you've used a bag-a-nut model in the past, like a 30-inch pull behind, it had a divider in the middle, twigs, sticks, stuff got caught. This is continuous. So that's the first observation I had. The second observation, just off the top of my head, is I love the run flat tires and wheels here. Man, as a part-time weekend warrior, I have a full-time job, so I'm only down at the farm or the ranch on the weekends, and when I get ready to harvest, I can't be jacking around with flat tires and trying to put a can of Fix-A-Flat in there. So the run flat tires are a home run. And that costs a little bit more money. So kudos to these guys that they didn't cut corners and just put some cheap little tire on here. They put a very solid wheel, which I really like. The other thing is, I think if you look in there, there's a grease fitting. Look at this shaft here. There's a grease fitting. Everything on here is very serious hardware. Look at this. I even like how they had this plasma cut, the little logo on there. Kudos to these guys. Look at this. So you got the little tie-down straps right here to hold your crates on. Very nice. I like how they have the hooks on each end. They also have a tarp, is what I'm gonna call it, that comes over here, that are baffle perhaps, but they even have these little cutouts, so it's easy to put that on. They got a nice little tray here. Everything's extremely well built. This is the mechanism right here that actually allows you to raise or lower the wheels. So when you move from one tree to another, you don't have to pick everything up in the lane. Let's see what else. First impressions. Little things. That right there got my attention. And let me tell you why that, something as simple as a hole, got my attention. And why that got my attention is I could see a situation where I may put my 30-inch pull behind directly behind this guy. In the event if I miss any nuts or anything on the first pass, it'll be there to pick it up. All right, so I'm gonna come back here in just a second. I'm assuming this box right here is gonna have the brackets that will have to be assembled to offset, because this thing has an offset on it, which is like a little triangle bracket, and I can put it on either side. You can pull this directly behind your vehicle, whether it's a side-by-side, riding lawnmower, tractor, you figure it out, whatever fits your application. But I like it because we can make it on either side. So I got to give that a little bit of study here. We'll come in, we'll put the bracket, but I think as far as assemblies required, it's relatively minimum. Let's go back over here for a second to the sorting table, because I just noticed this. Look at this quick connect pin right here. So I think, in theory, my ability to connect the sorting table to the actual stand is going to take a whole whopping 2 minutes. 1 minute, I may be wrong. Very industrial looking vibrating motor. Once again, nice rubber feet. I mean, I see areas everywhere that they could have cut corners, but they didn't. But the proof's in the pudding. How does it work? It can look like a shiny new car, but if it doesn't function in the field, that's a totally different story. But so far, this is a major improvement over the 30-inch pull behind or 30-inch push models or anything of that nature. I can see this being very, very functional. I do like the fact that you got the crates, because as you're going through the orchard, you fill the crates up, you can drop them off. Other family members can come along, pick the crates up, and go from there. I do like the versatility of the sorting table and the ability to put it on the receiver hitch, where if you want to work in the pecan orchard, you can. In our situation, given our time frame, we'll probably leave it here over here in the pecan operation, as I call it, and we'll clean the nuts and pick out all the leaves and twigs and bad nuts and stuff like that during the week, but I like it. I'm extremely impressed, and let's see what happens next. Give me a minute. I'm going to unpackage that box, and we'll see if we can get this harvester fully assembled. Okay, guys. Well, I fast forwarded past a couple of steps. I just couldn't help myself, but I also didn't want you guys to be bored from a construction standpoint. So, a couple of things. A, to put this together, you need two 9/16" wrenches. You had in that box was this little triangle piece right here. There's 2 bolts here, 2 bolts there, 2 bolts here. There's literally 6 bolts to put this together once you get it out. And there's a lot of configurations depending on how you want to do this. We set it up on the right-hand side because we're going to be pulling this with a 4-wheeler. And I'm left-handed, so I wanted the ability to make circles around the left-hand side of the tree, watching what was going on as we harvest. Hey, looky here. This is Cocoa Butter. She is our 15-year-old GSP, and she is a rattlesnake survivor. She got bit on her nose by a big, big, big timber rattler. We didn't think she was going to make it. Fast forward 5 years, she's still going. I digress. Back to the project. All right, so let's continue with first impressions. So I put this thing together. Really love these little cutout notches right here. And love how you can put the little containers in here, crates. This is great because our orchard is flat and you can probably go at a pretty fast pace. 1 second as I latch this. Hard to do one-handed. I love the extra storage containers up top. Just a lot of things that are really nice about this setup. First off, observation. It's heavy. It's well built. This is not a toy. This is not something designed for 1 or 2 pecan trees. This is for the guy that's got 50, 75, 100, 150. It's designed for me. 150 trees. When I get down there on the weekend, I gotta make stuff happen. I gotta move fast. I don't have time for flat tires or anything else. All right, let's talk about the mechanism. So right now it is in the tines down position where the tines are actually touching the ground, the wheels are off the ground. So let's say I just finished moving or getting the pecans around a tree and I want to go to the next tree. I can literally take this lever, bring it down, and now you notice the tines are off the ground and the wheels are touching. And when you do that, There's a little deal over here that becomes important. You have this little latch that you can secure, and that way your handle's in place and you're ready to transport to the next tree. I like it. Simplicity is good. It's well built. It's a lot heavier than I thought it was going to be, honestly. It really is. But so far, I'm impressed with it. I think the Bag and Nut guys have done a good job. 42-inch Pro. So if you contact them, we'll put a link in the description. We'll put in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, we'll put a little link where you can go to their website on YouTube, check out some of the videos that Silas has done. But yeah, if you reach out to them, tell Silas, Shema, Brent, I think is the other guy that's over there, tell them Heritage Farms sent you. Let's get back to the sorting table. I like this. I really, really like this. Everything's really made well. I mean, the bars on here, they seem to be the right width. I don't think any native pecans are gonna fall through here. Paper shell pecans like we have are definitely not. Once again, just no scratches. Everything looks good. So what you do is you pour your pecans in here. This is gonna be vibrating with the motor, which I have not plugged in yet. Future videos to come. But yeah, you'll sit here and all the debris will fall through. I liked in one of his videos, he put a wheelbarrow underneath the table, and I thought that was a great way to catch the debris. Once you get all your pecans sorted, you tilt it up. The pecans fall down into the chute. You can see how it's even angled on the back. Gravity fed. Voila, comes out the end. What a neat, neat setup. It actually works really well here in my little pecan setup because this is my little pecan workstation that I have over here. And the whole purpose of this is this equipment is lightweight enough. I can drag it down here on the driveway, keep the dust to a minimum in the garage as I'm sorting or shelling pecans. One thing I noticed, and of course you can't build something that fits every single application. I love the concept of putting it on the pickup truck hitch receiver because then you can work out in the field. For my situation, I'm probably going to be working here in the shop during the week. For me, and I'll probably do this on my own, I'll probably put casters on the base. And the reason for that is just so I can roll it down here to the garage. Who knows? I may want to roll it down here to my patio. If it's winter time, maybe that patio by the fireplace. Summertime over here. Little Dallas Cowboy football or Oklahoma State football on the big screen. But anyway, I digress. That's my only recommendation on the sorting table is I kind of wish it had casters so I could move it around easily to the driveway, to the patio. But hey, you know what? That's an easy fix, and I can make that change myself. But the table, I can tell you, the table's going to be a game changer along with the 42-inch Harvest Pro. My only concern now is I got to figure out how to get this on my utility trailer and get it to the farm. So in upcoming videos, we'll show you this in comparison to what we were using before. We'll talk a little bit more about our strategy for the harvest season coming up. In the meantime, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, leave us a comment, hit the thumbs up, hit the thumbs down if you don't like it. Not gonna hurt my feelings. I learn from criticism. So, all right guys, so anyway, glory be to God. Thank you for watching, and thank you to my friends over at Bag and Nut for trusting in me to give them an evaluation of this, these two pieces of equipment. These guys are definitely up in their game, and I love the direction they're headed for the small orchard owner.